Hi guys, today we're going to be having a look at the Sparco Hypergrip Gaming Gloves, and we will see how they perform against our steadfast OMP KS-4s that we've been using for quite a while now. We're going to try them out for size, and we're going to see if this fingertip thing is worthwhile. So like the Hyperspeed gaming socks, this comes in a mesh bag with a clear plastic front with a drawstring on it, and removal is just a case of grabbing the gloves out. Let's put away whatever else we have in the packaging. So we have these Sparco gaming tabs, and they don't really have anything on them, unlike the socks that had some info on there. These are pretty bare bones. The gloves themselves are very small, lightweight, and quite thin. They also have a different material on the edge of the thumb, the tip of the thumb and the tip of the index finger, and those are so you can actually remove the tips so you can use your mobile device or any touchscreen. The gloves feel pretty tight when on. I did a sizing guide step on this, and they still come out pretty tight. And the tips themselves were a little tricky to remove. See here, just trying to get the edge. I didn't want to rip the gloves, but you can get your index finger out, and the same for your thumb too. The thinner material that's lining the index finger and thumb, I think possibly could harm the performance a little bit. As you see from the palm, it has a rubberized material inlaid into the leather, faux leather, not sure if it's real leather. And it has little pads stitched into the palm to, I guess, absorb some vibration. Once I was in game, the gloves felt okay. I could reach all the buttons pretty easily, and they didn't feel too uncomfortable initially, at least. So they're all good signs. After a few laps around Zolder, however, I found that the little stitched in support in the thumb region, just around the thumb region, actually started to dig into my thumb and made it a little uncomfortable. We're only talking about 14 laps of Zolder here. It's not a huge run, and I was already starting to feel uncomfortable. The lack of padding on the thumb tip and index finger meant that the ride was kind of uncomfortable as well, and the stitching across the fingers on the inside was starting to leave a mark. Really wasn't quite the experience I was expecting from them. Grip wise, I didn't really notice any additional grip from the inlaid rubber. It just seems a bit of a gimmick, if I'm honest. When I'm rubbing my finger on there, it definitely feels like there's extra grip compared to, say, my karting gloves. But when you have that grip on the wheel, it makes zero difference. Maybe if I had a leather wheel, or a rubberized wheel, maybe I would feel the extra grip. Not sure whether I would like it or not, because I don't have that scenario, so I can't really let you know. Looks wise, they're okay. I think from an immersion perspective, it'd be nicer to have more racing looking gloves. If you have a look at the gloves that are in game, they're very different to the gloves that I'm wearing, and for me at least that breaks immersion a little bit. They feel okay, they look okay, they're well vented on the back, which I'd say is probably a good thing, but I don't feel that they'd be comfortable enough to use for long periods of time. I feel I would have to switch to my OMPs or other thicker gloves to do endurance racing with, and I don't have particularly soft hands. I have calluses on my thumbs from using the Formula V2, so my thumbs are pretty well hardened, and so are my palms, but they still felt uncomfortable, these. Maybe I could get used to it, but I don't really have to get used to it, so I won't be. But it is a bit of a negative aspect to these gloves. They've obviously put the padding in to try and help you, but I just feel it was unnecessary, and it's more a side effect of the thin material that they've decided to use for the palm. They just used a slightly thicker material like they do with their own race gloves. I feel these would have been a better product, and considering they are priced not far off of their own race or rather karting products, I think it's a little rich to ask for people to part with their hard-earned cash and buy these. There are definitely many better gloves on the market, and if you have a look at my glove roundup, hopefully that'll give you some ideas to which gloves you might want to try out. But the Mecha Frees, if you're going for Sparco, are much better than these. I very much like the OMP KS-4s, which are now my go-to glove. They weren't actually the top glove in my roundup, but they turned out to be damn fine gloves, especially when it comes to wicking away sweat and the smell. After a couple of weeks of using certain brands of gloves, like the field gloves, I found that I had to go and wash those gloves. They were unusable. They made my hands smell like cheese. It was disgusting. With the KS-4s, I've been using them for 6 weeks solid now. Granted, they probably should be washed at this point, but they don't smell. I probably will wash them just because I should, but you know, the point is they don't cheese up like some of the more synthetic gloves. So I don't necessarily feel that the wicking on the back of the Hypergrips is going to help much, because it's your palms that get sweaty. They've used very thin material on the palms and your fingers, so you do have good feel, but with that good feel comes the cost of comfort, and I would rather have something that I'm comfortable with for a long period of time. Maybe I'm a wuss, I don't know, but that's my take from this, that they really could have done with having a slightly more comfortable feel. Okay, so what do I think of these gloves? Well, there are a couple of redeeming features, I guess, in that you can use your mobile phone with the gloves on, but you know, how hard is it to take your gloves off, guys? Stop being so damn lazy. And when you're racing, unless you've got a touch screen that you need to use, I don't see the point. I mean, I know some people use their phones for displays, and yeah, that's going to be quite a useful feature then. But honestly, for the money, I don't think it's worth it, and the reduction in comfort is noticeable. I didn't feel comfortable wearing these for half an hour. Would I feel comfortable wearing these after a 12-hour race? Definitely not. They're pricey. I'd say without a doubt they're overpriced. They are under-spec'd compared to other gloves of the same price range, and I just find them uncomfortable in general. So yeah, no redeeming features at all, so screw that, get rid of them. Anyway, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to leave a comment, please do. I'd like to get your take on what you thought of these gloves. If you have some and you like them, please tell us why, because it would be nice to get someone else's perspective on this. And yeah, if you're looking forward to more content like this, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye for now.